Nyakango, having been appointed the Controller of Budget under Article 2281 of the Constitution of Kenya, as read with Section 4(12) of the Controller of Budget Act, do solemnly swear that I will at all times obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution of Kenya and all other laws of the Republic, that I will faithfully and fully, impartially, and to the best of my knowledge and ability, discharge the trust, perform the functions, and exercise the powers devolving upon me by virtue of this appointment without fear, favor, bias, affection, or prejudice. So help me God. Where there is a number 1, Ministry of Petroleum and Mining, 16.597 billion, and I went ahead and approved. And I know that now the Auditor General will pick up and find out what the actual expenditure was.
According to the Control of Budget, the former Treasury boss sought the approval of 6 billion shillings to enable the government buy shares from Hilois Investment and Exit Telecoms Kenya, and 9.2 billion shillings from the Annuity Fund to buy 3 key infrastructure projects.
Even as I sit here, I'm still not convinced.
What's the total amount of money that was approved, that you approved under that condition?
This is coming to 15.5 for the two. What we see here really cannot be justified. This is what it borders on abuse.
Committee Chair Nimrod Mvai says they are investigating suspected withdrawal of 50 billion shillings that was done a few days before and after the general elections. The committee has also summoned Treasury Cabinet Secretary Njuguna Ndung'u for a second time after he failed to appear before the committee investigating a petition filed by the Consumer Federation of Kenya Secretary General Stephen Mutoro.
They have failed to appear. All the other stakeholders have appeared, including State House. So we are left with no option. But before issuing the warrant of arrest, we are supposed to do a reminder, which has been sent today.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has on 2 occasions announced that he'll name those behind the alleged lootings of public coffers. Monies, he said, ran into billions of shillings.
Pale katika police air wing, pale Wilson, ndio pesa ilikuwa inaletwa na magunia, inawekwa kwa ndege, inapelekwa kwa mtu nyumbani, inapelekwa kwa mwingine. In the next few days, nitatangazia wa Kenya pesa ilienda kwa nani.
Exaggerations are in the National Treasury, and let me just give one example. When I was doing the budget for Consolidated Fund Services, this is where my salary is paid from. I found out that my salary was budgeted at 3 times what I'm paid. I am the only state officer in my institution. So there's nothing like confusion there. I'm all alone. So I asked them, why is the budget showing 3 times what my annual salary is? And it was like that for all the state officers.
What was the answer, madam?
Chairman, I have not received the answer to date.
Every person is surprised and mesmerized by the events that took place just about 2 or 3 days before the general election. And just for your interest, there is nothing called witch hunt in this whole thing. Nyakango comes from my neighboring county, but in Nyamira, and I come from Kisii. And I'm on record in the floor of the House having said that it's important for people who go for independent offices get to know their code of conduct and read it and understand it. One cannot use coercion as an excuse to hide, their faces. And at no given time did the control of budget raise that issue until it came in the budget-making process and the audit and in the National Assembly. Had she talked about it immediately, even after elections, and raised it without casting aspersions and blame games and stuff like that, and finding some scapegoats, then I think we would have looked at her differently. It's at this point that Kenyans must know that let each person learn to carry their own cross. And we are going to start a process of removing Nyakango from office through legal means and legal channels, and that is the National Assembly. We've got to have people who are straight to run offices. I mean, really, 16 billion is not 2 shillings. Right now, members of parliament are suffering. They have not gotten national government NGCDF for purposes of bursaries. Kenyans are starving. You all know what is happening. Projects have stalled. You can imagine what 16 billion can do to this country. You can imagine. Right now, the judiciary is also, crawling. They cannot hire new judges. There are backlog cases, in court. And prisons are full with people, and matters are supposed to be fast-tracked for purposes of completion and everything. Kenya is not really doing very well. And I think we consider Nyakango as a whistleblower and a victim and also a culprit in this whole thing. So she's got to choose which side she'll take. Whether to be a culprit, victim, of course she's just a victim as a Kenyan, because she's also fallen prey of such whole mess. And she mentions all the names that were involved, and I don't think it's only the finance minister, the former finance minister, is involved. This whole thing is a scheme. Who are the owners of these companies that were paid? Where is maize, that was paid for in terms of subsidy? Where is it? Well, you paid 4 billion, 4 days to elections. Where is that maize that you paid for? Which company? And who are the owners of those companies? Where are they located? Who are they? Besides the directions by Ukuru Atan, who else gave the directions? How do they cover this money? And by the way, that is the tip. It's just a tip. If the whole thing is given in black and white, you'll be surprised. That is what happened in about 3 days to elections. Whatever happened within a month to elections will shock Kenyans. And even immediately after elections, after the declaration of results, the drama that you saw, in Bomas and everything, people were just buying time to steal. And Nyakango was still in office. She still approved some payments, even immediately after elections. Was she still under coercion immediately after elections? Had she not known that there was a regime change? Had she not known there is a president-elect immediately after elections? Like you still approved payments about within 2 weeks when the case was in the Supreme Court. So people were just playing games with us. And that is why you see the Honorable Raila Odinga complaining, left, right, and center. He's actually not defending Kenyans. His interest is about trying to twist people's minds so that they can really not raise issues about the billions that have been lost. He's actually the owner of this dog. Thank you very much.
Kwingineko ni kwamba msimamizi mkuu wa bajeti Margaret Nyakango ameachiliwa kwa dhamana baada ya kukamatwa kwa madai ya kuendesha shirika la akiba na mikopo bila leseni, kugushi pamoja na njama ya ulaghai. Mahakama ya Mombasa imemwachilia kwa dhamana ya shilingi milioni 2.5 na milioni 2 au shilingi nusu milioni pesa taslimu baada ya kukanusha madai hayo. Nyakango aliandikisha taarifa ya makachero wanaochunguza kesi inayomhusisha ili kubaini madai ya walalamishi kabla ya kufikishwa mahakamani. Kesi hiyo itatajwa Disemba 13 huku mahakama ikiwaagiza washukiwa wengine katika kesi hiyo kufika kotini siku hiyo.
What happened?
Mtasikia.
What one? What one?